Jason starts off.
Hey, Coach, can you just kind of go back to the job Kevin did for you guys this past weekend and how, if you've talked to him, how he's feeling and how big an impact that was for you guys, having him come in and pitch those 3 days?
Yeah, we have already talked to him. He said he was great. This is Kevin. That's kind of his attitude. He said he feels really good. But, you look back at game one, we put him in, we were down 1 run. We usually don't like to put him in unless it's even or we have the lead, but we felt like we had 9 outs to go, that if you could hold him down, we were going to score at least 1 run. And we had a couple opportunities we didn't, so we're kind of kicking ourselves that it didn't happen. But at the same time, we didn't want that game being 5-4. We didn't use him in time. And, he came back on Friday night, pitched great, gave us a chance, came back and won the game. Then obviously he got through the inning we wanted him to get us to the next inning. And then we brought in, I think, Wiggins, but he pitched great. He wanted the ball. His stuff was really good Thursday. It was real good Friday and not so good on Saturday, not as good, but we knew that, it was probably our best option. And he really wanted to pitch. So just proud of him for the effort. And, he's a big, strong kid. He knows what he's doing out there.
Tom.
Dave, I just heard you on the Swatters Club Zoom. I think the people are telling Kendall's right, the decisions will be made May the 10th on the regionals and super regionals. So
yeah, I was just informed. I was just given all the info.
Yeah, I know.
Going on around April 12th, whatever, some more stuff, and then I guess they may make some decisions as early as May 10th or right around there on predetermined sites. Interesting.
Yep. Hey, to the extent you can, do you know who you're going to start the next couple of days?
Yeah, I mean, tomorrow we're going to start Ramage, and then we got to see who all we're going to use before we can tell you who we're going to start Wednesday. And that's what UALR is doing too. They're starting a left-hander, and they're not sure on Wednesday as well. I mean, we're both in the same boat. We got to go play a bunch of games and 3 games on the weekend. So 2 games in the middle of the week. I mean, it all sounds good when you're scheduling. It gets a little spooky when you get in the middle of it. Then you got to get on a bus and drive 6 hours or wherever the very next morning on Thursday.
Gotcha. And Ramage, he's given up, I think, 4 home runs. So what does he need to do better to last longer, I guess you could say?
He's made a couple of mistakes. And I think one of those home runs, his last outing, I think he gave up a home run real early in the game and then pitched really well after that. I don't know. I just it's all about location. His fastball's anywhere from 88 to 92. He's got a good changeup and a good slider, and kind of pitch like we know he can. And I don't think it's mechanical. It's more about just having confidence and going out there and doing it. I think if he could get off to a good start, it would be big for him and us.
Okay, thanks.
Hutch.
Yeah, Dave, do you plan on maybe treating this kind of like the Memphis series where you rest your starters for a game and give some backups some work this week?
Well, I won't take them all out like I did with Memphis. I mean, I took a lot. I think I started 4 or 5 different guys, maybe game 1 against Memphis. I'll probably start a couple different guys each day, but we're just kind of getting together with the guys now and find out who feels like what, and talk to some guys and see if somebody I really feel like needs another day or 2 off. I don't plan on not playing one of the starters both games unless, maybe some pitchers, maybe some of those bullpen guys. But other than that, I think guys want to play. If they're healthy, they want to play and kind of stay sharp. As a coach, you get concerned a little bit about, fatigue and how they're going to play on Saturday and Sunday. So just kind of see how it goes after I talk to some guys here in a little while.
And just looking at their numbers, Little Rock has, I think, 3 guys with really high batting averages and stuff. What do you know about them, and what do you expect out of them?
Well, I know that they beat some good people this year. They had a tough weekend out in Jonesboro. Couple of close losses, and they're hitting 280 as a team. That's what we're hitting, and I know what they did to us 2 years ago. That's what I know.
Kevin?
Hey, coach, there seems to be a profile of a starting pitcher that has given y'all issues, whether it be righty or lefty, 87 to 91, with a couple of good pitches. Moving forward, does the lineup need to change their approach so we don't get behind in games as early?
Well, I think the guys that don't throw super hard, they're usually really good pitchers, especially in our league. When I say super hard, there's a lot of guys that throw 92, 95, 96 in our league and maybe a little more. And then there's guys that you can just say they can really pitch, and they're usually very experienced, that keep the ball down and they'll keep it away and they'll bust you in, that are throwing. I don't know if there's too many guys in our league throwing in the 80s that are right-handed, but they're throwing 90, 92, 93, 94. Those guys are getting everybody out, it seems like. Yeah, I mean, you just the same approach. You gotta, when you get two strikes on you, you gotta put the barrel on the ball, and you gotta cut down your swing, and we've done a better job of it. We've hit some really good pitchers. We've struggled against some really good pitchers, as of everybody else. I'm not going to overhaul a lineup that has 46 home runs and a 280 batting average playing one of the toughest schedules in the country. I don't think you can do that, because it's too far gone. You just make some adjustments.
Thanks.
Nate?
Yeah, you mentioned the game 2 years ago. Do you mention that game? It was 2 years ago. Do you mention that much to this team, especially being an in-state rivalry?
No, I don't. I won't mention it. I won't say a word about it. Haven't said a word about it. And it's a game that, honestly, when you look back at it, it was, you dissect the game. We didn't do much when we had opportunities. The first 5 or 6 innings, bases loaded, 1 out, bases loaded, no outs, something like that. A couple of times we didn't score, and then they did. They hit a ball out of the park with the bases loaded and 2 outs, and all of a sudden a 1-run lead turned into 5. Something like that. And it kind of got away from us. And, you're too close to playing the series. And sometimes you just have to tip your cap to the other team. They just come in there and they beat you. And that's what they did. So it's not a rivalry at all. To me, it's a really good matchup of in-state teams. And I think it's really good for the state. Said that a few years ago. I've been saying it for 10 years, but first 10 years, nobody would listen. And then when Hunter got here, I think he started saying, maybe it would be. And some of the guys on the board at the time thought, this would be good for the state. And they made a change, and I think it was a good change. We're going to get beat. We're going to lose some games. It's just the way it is. It's baseball. It's middle of the week. But I'm glad we're playing them. I have a lot of respect for Coach Curry and R.D. Speeds, the pitching coach who played for me at Nebraska. So I'm real familiar with those guys. Those guys are competitors, and they don't like to lose.
Thanks.
Jason, we'll come back to you.
More on Kevin. He's so quiet with us. Is that kind of how he is with you guys? And to have that quiet demeanor, be kind of how he is on the mound, just how kind of cool is that to see him, go out there with that kind of mentality that's different than he is off the field?
Well, the players love Kevin. Kevin gets voted captain 3 years in a row here because of his work ethic, the type of person he is in the locker room, away from the field, and just everything he's been through to get where he is now. I mean, at Tommy John surgery, redshirts his first year, next year he's pitching pretty good, pops his elbow, and he was devastated. And all he did was work and get bigger and stronger and better, and now he's better than ever. And, it's a good story, but that's Kevin. He's kind of quiet. He only says something when he really has something to say. You got to respect that guy, and everybody does.
And you're, as you told Tom and told the people in Swatters Club, you're kind of learning about all this regional stuff. You guys have to put in a bid. We assume you're going to win. Does it kind of feel like the old days where you were kind of doing the NCAA guarantees, to try to get a regional? And what's that going to be like, once you find out May 10th and you still got 3 weeks of a season left before you find out who all is going to come to your facility?
Yeah, first off, obviously, we're gonna put in a bid, but I was just told that they changed everything as far as dollar amount, because they're probably not gonna let you have a full stadium. They're gonna tell you what, and they haven't told us. So how can they want that, some good bids when we don't know how many, if we got to, or Mississippi State gets to, or Ole Miss, or Oklahoma State, whoever, TCU in this area. You don't want to go lose a bunch of money just to have some games at your stadium. If you can only bring 25, 35% capacity in. So there's still a lot of questions. And again, I was just kind of brought up to speed on this a little while ago. I'm going to try not to think about it or deal with it. I mean, we have some tough games coming up this month, and hopefully we'll win enough where we're going to get in a regional. But yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, how are you going to feel if you're a team that has been selected to host a regional and you still have 3 weeks of games left and a tournament to go to? I don't know. It still doesn't mean you get to play in your own regional. They could have a regional here and the Hogs aren't in it. That wouldn't be good. So yeah, there's still a lot going on out there. And honestly, I wish I didn't even know about it right now. I'm just worried about being UALR tomorrow. I don't need to worry about this, and I'm not. But our goal every year is to get to a regional, and that's what we're fighting to do right now.
Tom?
Dave, you wouldn't play them unless it was the postseason. But I'm wondering, are you keeping track of this Rocker and Leiter deal? Their whips are just incredible at Vanderbilt.
Two amazing pitchers, two kids. Honestly, how do those kids get to school? Rocker out of high school was projected a top 10 pick. Had a good senior year, but maybe not as good as everybody wanted to see. Not too many kids can turn down $2 million, a couple of guys. You just don't see that very much. And, it was good luck for Vandy that they showed up, because those guys are unbelievable. I mean, I've watched him pitch, and it's pretty amazing. They're very, very talented.
Coach, anything else?
Yeah, I just got one more, Coach. You mentioned it in the Swatters Club, but Costu, what have you seen from him lately that you really like seeing him coming out of the bullpen?
He usually can give us 1+ innings, one and a couple outs, maybe two. And he just seems that he comes in and does a good job. He throws his fastball 90s. It's legit right in there. And he's got a really good changeup. He actually has a really good curveball if he can land it, because he can really spin it. With the changeup, he can still be very successful against left-handed left-handed hitters. So, he's got good stuff. And we need another guy or two to step up in the bullpen, maybe another right-hander. And but he's kind of helped us get through an inning or two a few times this year, and I just feel like that he's kind of got a little bit better confident about him, a little better look in his eye now when he goes out there.
Nate?
Yeah, no, I have nothing more.
All right, Kevin, finish this off.
Yeah, Coach, you said in the post-game press conference Friday or Saturday that y'all may take a look at the weekend rotation. I'm assuming no decisions have been made on that, but if they have, can you let us know what to expect?
Yeah, I kind of mentioned it a little bit. I mean, we try to be fair. We try to give guys they have a bad outing, we give them another one, maybe another one, or just an okay outing. But if we have another pitcher that's throwing a little bit better, Paulette really struggled against Alabama, so we thought he needed to calm down a little bit. We think he just got a little too hyped up, and we'd piggyback him off of Wicklander or whoever, and it worked. And so right now I would say that he's looking like he's going to get a start, and Vermillion will go to the pen and maybe come in off of one of these guys. But we haven't really talked to them about it. Coach Hobbs might have by now when he sees those guys later today, but that's probably what's going to go on.
Thank you.
Yep.
Here's your time, Coach.